Hello everyone, I'm Danrvdtree2000, also known as Dan2x15 on Xbox Live, and I just finished watching WWE Money in the Bank 2022, and what a Money in the Bank I just watched. It was amazing. I would like to say at the end I'm going to give you the full how many stars I'm going to give it and how many thumbs up. It was actually quite by far one of the best Money in the Bank pay-per-views I've seen in a long time when it comes to matches. There was a disappointing end, but in my opinion, but it might shake things up a little bit around here because who knows what the future holds for the Money in the Bank winners. We already know the results for one Money in the Bank winner. Well, I'll get to them in a second. As I'm going to start things off as we started things off at Money in the Bank with the women's Money in the Bank. And that was a really good, far-fought matchup. There was moments where I thought Becky Lynch was going to win. I thought Asuka was going to win. That was a gnarly trip up from Shotzi when she was going to do like a running DDT, but she slipped on the ladder. And there was amazing strength from Raquel Rodriguez and so many good moments, and especially the bot. I wouldn't say it was a botched neck drop. It went to plan. I think it was supposed to break the ladder, but I think the trajectory of the height from Becky Lynch hitting the leg drop, she landed flat on her ass, right on Asuka. I really think after that, Asuka was not seen after that. But it was after all that big chaos, only one woman was about to win, and that was once again Becky Lynch. Probably this is the second time she's been in the Money in the Bank ladder match before, and the last time she was in a Money in the Bank ladder match, she got pushed off the ladder, and the winner became the winner. Well, the person to knock her off became the Money in the Bank winner, and this time around, after Becky Lynch coming this close, it was Liv Morgan that pushed Becky Lynch off and became Miss Money in the Bank. I was very surprised. I actually eliminated her from my mind. I didn't even feel like it was Shotzi and Liv Morgan. As much as I love Liv Morgan, I thought that she wasn't going to win, but she proved me wrong, and my God, I celebrated when she won, and my God, she did it. She became Miss Money in the Bank, and I was applauding her for the entire time. What will she cash in? We'll find out, but later on, I'll get to that. I'll get to that a little bit. As we're speaking of the champions that have used the opportunity to cash in against, Bobby Lashley took advantage of someone being cashed in by beating up Drew McIntyre, and he, of course, Bobby Lashley is a former United States champion, but he's not only a former two-time United States champion, he's now a three-time United States champion, as Bobby Lashley defeated Austin Theory. I refuse to call him just Theory. Theory for the United States champion. What was a really good matchup. There wasn't even a moment where I thought that Theory was going to beat Bobby Lashley, but it was just one big hurt lock that Austin Theory tapped out like a little bitch, a little bit too quick, and what I thought. So yeah, I thought that was a bit suspicious, and they tapped out very quickly to lose the championship to Bobby Lashley. But hey, that hurt lock is called the hurt lock for a reason. It will make you tap out like a little bitch. And speaking of tapping out like a little bitch, you would think that Carmella would have been able to do that to Bianca Belair to become the new Raw Women's Champion. But on the third match of the card, it was the Raw Women's Championship match. A very good match, admittedly, but unfortunately, Bianca Belair was too much for Carmella at the end of the day, and it was one KOD that ended the match up in 1, 2, 3. Still the Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair, and she was celebrating on the top rope, but she got beat down off in the matchup. And then that's when it went on to the next match, ladies and gentlemen. You thought there was going to be a cash in from Liv Morgan to become the new Raw Women's Champion. No, that didn't happen. Bianca Belair managed to get back to her feet. And celebrating the fact that she was still the Raw Women's Champions. From Raw Women's Champions to Raw Tag Team Champions and SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the Usos defending their titles against the Street Profits in what I'd like to think was the match of the night. Yeah, I think the ending was kind of botched. I'm not too sure. Or was it planned? I can't even tell. It could have been, we will see, but that match, it was the match of the night. 5-star matchup between the Street Profits and the Usos. The Usos hit that 1D, but one and done. That 1, 2, 3. However, as I did a group post to see if people wanted to watch the Money in the Bank with me, and one of the people pointed out that actually Montez's arm was off the mat, and when I watched the replay over and over from the replay that they showed, yeah, Montez's arm was off the mat. It wasn't even a 3 count. He had it up the entire time. The referee didn't see it, but he called it anyway. So referee's decision is final. Still the undisputed tag team champions, the Usos. And the Usos' cousin Roman Reigns must be proud of them, as he's still sitting back on the island of on his little island as the tribal chief, thinking, man, I don't have to worry about anyone catching in against me anytime soon. And speaking of cashing in, I'm going to move on to the next match as Ronda Rousey went one-on-one with Natalya. And my God, the best part of that matchup was the sharpshooter that Ronda Rousey hit on Natalya. Natalya didn't give up, but as she was doing it, Ronda Rousey hit the freaking Shawn Michaels pose, referencing the Survivor Series Montreal Screwjob one played there. She didn't tap out, and but it was very well played. Natalya ended up going onto the leg of Ronda Rousey, meaning that Ronda Rousey had a bad leg. She managed to pull off the win against Natalya and still the SmackDown Women's Champion, but before she could get up onto her own 2 feet, hobbling along her own 2 feet, watch me. Down comes Liv Morgan with Money in the Bank, rushing in, cashing in the Money in the Bank. Gets caught with an ankle lock. She looks like she's about to tap, but then she's like, bang, mule kick, right to the bad leg of Ronda Rousey. Rolls up Ronda Rousey, 1, 2, 3, and is the new SmackDown Women's Champion. Another successful Money in the Bank cash-in on the night. They do that pretty much every year, or at least one person cashes in the Money in the Bank. So that, every couple of years that happens. Sometimes they wait and they draw it out. Sometimes they cash it in the night after, or a couple of nights after they have the Money in the Bank. Let's just hope that, and I really hope that this is not a transitional champion. Personally, I have a feeling that Charlotte Flair, or maybe someone like Charlotte Flair or Bayley's going to come back, challenge Liv Morgan, and she's going to be that big baby thing, yeah, sure. And then the returning superstar, whether it be Bayley or Charlotte, most likely Charlotte's going to come back and beat her fair and square, because there's no way someone like Liv Morgan can be champion for long. So yeah, I think maybe Liv Morgan might defend her title at SummerSlam, and hopefully she retains. And well, moving on, my phone went off, but that doesn't matter because it was down to the main event of the evening. My thought, again, next to the Usos, the men's Money in the Bank ladder match was by far a really good matchup. My big main man I'm wearing right here, Seth Rollins, had Seth Rollins, Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, Madcap Moss, Riddle, and Omos. Freaking heck, Omos. He was in there to win it, man. He beat everyone down. But before the match could even begin, because the chips are all in. Us cashing the chips. We're going all in here. No pun intended. As well, Adam Pearce came out. Personally, I think it should have been Mr. McMahon, but you know, Adam Pearce came out and said, "Well, I'm saying you're 7 and I'm raising it 1. I'm gonna give you," and he didn't regret it. He didn't really want to say it because he did all that big announcement. He went, "It's Fury." Because I think that Mr. McMahon said, "Hey, you better get that Fury in the Money in the Bank, damn it." And admittedly, I thought he was gonna win and right there and then, but no, the match played out as good as it can be. With, like I said, almost dominated the match, and McIntyre and Sheamus beat the shit out of each other. You had Riddle beating the shit out, did that massive RKO from the top of the ladder onto Seth Rollins. We had everyone taking out Omos on the outside, doing a huge motherfucking 7-man powerbomb, taking care of Omos. That was big. That was huge. They all beat each other up on the outside. And then it was down to like Mike Moss. He got knocked off the top of the ladder. We had Drew McIntyre. He got knocked off the top of the ladder because of freaking Butch coming down to the ring and saving his ass. And oh man, it was chaos. It was absolute chaos. And then finally, it came down to Riddle and Fury of all people at the end. I thought Riddle was going to win that battle on top of the ladder, but no. Fury knocked off Riddle off the top of the ladder. He grabbed that briefcase, was swinging towards him. He grabbed it, pulled it off, and for fuck's sake, that goddamn Fury is now Mr. Money in the Bank. Jesus Christ, they are going to squander the Money in the Bank contract. Why are we going to have one successful cash-in and one failed cash-in? If Bobby Lashley at 100% can beat the living piss out of Fury, then a broken down Roman Reigns and a broken down Brock Lesnar can easily fight off. Think about what Brock Lesnar did to Fury inside the Elimination Chamber! He beat the piss out of him then! He bit the piss out of him then. And Fury freaking, he outran Brock Lesnar. He outsmarted him, and look what happened. He took Brock Lesnar to F5 Fury off the top of the goddamn Elimination Chamber. Come on, man. If Brock Lesnar at 100% of going through the Elimination Chamber, going through hell in the Elimination Chamber can still whoop your ass, Fury. Does that mean he'll do it again and successfully regain his championship after beating Roman Reigns in the last man standing match at SummerSlam? Of course he fucking will. The same goes for Roman Reigns. He's stacked everybody up. Hell, he has beaten Daniel Bryan in it at WrestleMania. He stacked them both up and pinned them. Maybe that will happen, where he stacks both Fury and Brock Lesnar to retain his championship. Will Fury interfere and cash in during the match or turn it into a normal triple threat? Of course he'll do. If that man Fury has any brains, he would wait until there's someone that his own size, someone that is the same size as Fury, wins the championship. That's the only chance he's got. That's the only chance that Theory has got to becoming champion. Do not cash it in against Roman. Do not cash it in against Brock. Do not cash it in against both of them, because you will fail miserably. I really hope that Theory successfully cashes it in for it to make sense. Otherwise, we have wasted another Men's Money in the Bank briefcase. But I thought it was 4.5 stars, but I guess the ending was a bit crazy and stupid and wacky because of Fury and weird in it. But I'm not the one to complain, because to expect the unexpected when it comes to WWE, and I'm not the one of these internet idiots that's going to moan and complain about it. I'm just going to see what happens. After all, Fury is Mr. McMahon's chosen one. But we will find out on Raw what the plans are for Theory. We're most likely going to hear from him. and to see what happens. So I'm Danrvdtree2000, also known as Danrvdtree2000 on Xbox Live, and I will do my predictions and review for SummerSlam pretty soon. And you let me know what you thought of Money in the Bank. Let me know what you're gonna expect from from Fury and Mr. Money in the Bank, and maybe what you're gonna see. What do you want to see from SummerSlam? And until next time, goodbye. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you want to watch the previous video, click on the video on the left. But if you want to watch the playlist, then click on the video on the right. Also, feel free to click subscribe by clicking on the Master Chief icon on the top.